Hey, Shelby, let's talk for a minute just about your social media, especially like your YouTube presence. I mean, 250,000 subscribers, that's no chump change. That's a that's a pretty big task to be able to get 250,000 subscribers. Talk to us a little bit about your social media, how you got into it, how it evolved, and kind of where you're at now.
So I believe it all started on Instagram. And the cool thing about it was not like intentional in any way to become what it is today, of course. I started with pictures that had nothing to do with trucks. And what I would do was I'd just write kind of a little bit about my day. And I had some friends that were truck drivers that would like comment on my posts, right? And so here's this picture, it has nothing to do with trucks, but this caption had to do with like my kind of trucking related problems. And so my friends would all come together in the comments and they would write like these paragraphs or like something that was extremely helpful to me or to another driver. Or if some other driver came in the comments and was like, hey, I have this such and such problem, they would also like attack that. And it weirdly grew to like 8,000 followers before I even started posting truck pictures. So it blows my mind because I know that this was growth from people sharing this like sort of just comment section and saying, "Hey, like what do you think of this?" or things like that. And it was such an honest kind of helpful growth of a community that was interested in the same thing, which was helping each other, and mainly in the trucking industry. So started posting trucking photos, and of course it took off. And I think because the foundation of the community was one that just wanted to come together and help each other, that it allowed that foundation allowed for my channels to become what they are, because it just carried through. And when I did start actually working on it, it was in an attempt to kind of provide a space where people could come together and ask questions, because the trucking community, as you know, is very much either a game of telephone or kind of like Fight Club, and the first rule, is you don't talk about it. And so, like, for example, there's no rule book for some rookie driver to come out here and know, hey, if I sit in the fuel island too long, longer than 15 minutes, somebody might do something to my truck. That driver does not know that unless another driver has passed on that information to them.
I didn't know that.
It's where else are you going to find this? And then there's just other little things, and it's a lot of unspoken rules. Not only that, trucking school doesn't prepare you. It doesn't teach you to be a truck mechanic. It doesn't teach you what to do in every single situation, and no school or course could, right? And we're a very experience driven industry where experience is king. Like, if you've been through it, there's so much you've learned from it. And this is like one of the things that I really, really hope people attack in this way. Your bad days are going to be your best days, because that's where you're going to learn the most. And so when I look back on all of my worst quotes, worst days, um, I look at them fondly because, yeah, I may have sat down in the snow and cried at my tire, but in that moment, I learned something, and I learned something that helped me in every other situation in the future. And that is so important. And honestly, if every day was easy, then my life would be so boring. And I appreciate the challenges. And so, yes, my platforms grew based on my challenges and then people coming together to help solve them or to help kind of give advice to new truckers or old truckers. It doesn't matter because, like I said, it doesn't matter your experience or how many years you've been in this industry. You can learn something every day from anybody. And I think that was the main thing of the platform. And I think that's why it took off, because it was something that was just truly good at heart. And I wasn't wanting anything from it. I even put so much time into trying to, originally I summarized the CDL manual, and I put a lot of time into trying to make that easier for people to get their licenses, because there's just so much that's unnecessary and it's a waste of time. And I just want to make it a little bit easier, because you're never going to run out of problems. I assure you, you're never going to run out of problems in this industry. And anything I can do to kind of help just that first hurdle, which is a huge one, getting out here and not knowing anything, I think that's where I like to be.
Thank you for watching that clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more clips like that, please click here.
Or if you'd like to check out a full episode, click here.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on
YouTube.